Hello, Comm 450. Happy Monday morning. This is Sister Higgins. Welcome to week 13. You are almost done. This is the last week that you will be learning concepts, and then next week will just be the final. So let's just get into week 13, Transcending Transgression. This is one of my favorite weeks of the entire semester. So you will be back in your interpersonal conflict books. So we finished getting to yes. So now you're going to go back to your interpersonal conflict book. And this week we're going to be learning about forgiveness. And I know this can be a difficult and somewhat painful concept for some of us. Some of us have had experiences in our lives where to even hear the word forgiveness can trigger all kinds of emotions. But I think the message of this week is so beautiful and so powerful that it can be very healing for everyone. So I love this thought. Forgiveness and reconciliation are not the same. Forgiveness is the foundation for reconciliation. And for me, having a social work background prior to going into human resources, I worked with families, a lot of times involved in domestic violence and abuse or other types of crime. And it was very difficult for the victim to even comprehend reconciling with the perpetrator. And forgiveness is just that foundation. Forgiveness can be very healing for the person that has been harmed, but that does not mean that you have to reconcile with the person that has harmed you. It is just the foundation to be able to get to that step. And forgiveness is an individual process. I love this quote from President Hinckley when he said, "Somehow forgiveness accomplishes miracles that can happen in no other way." And for some of us, forgiveness can take years. It could take months or weeks or days. And other times it can be very quick. But it is the main thing is that we are focusing on that it is a process and that we're working on that process and that we're not alone, that the Savior is there through his atonement. He has suffered everything that we have ever suffered or ever will suffer. And so that we are able to accomplish forgiveness when we are ready. And that's the key, when we are ready. It might even be in the next life. But we know that with the Savior's help, we can get there and that we will see miracles happen. Okay, so your due dates this week. You will be going back to the capture format, not guiding questions, but the capture. This will be your last one. And remember, you can drop one if you haven't dropped one yet. So that will be due on Wednesday. And then Saturday is your Heart of Texas final or Heart of Texas paper, and then studying for the final. So make sure that the earlier in the week you're able to complete your assignments, the more time that gives you to study for the final exam. So it's up to you to be able to manage your time. And then coming soon is just to prepare for the final exam. Remember that I will be doing a review session on Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. On Zoom, and so you're welcome to join in. I did attach the study guide last week in the announcements of the concepts to make sure that you're reviewing. Also, I would highly recommend that you look over your notes and your guiding questions. Those will be very helpful in your preparation for the final exam. It will be open book and open notes. It will be timed. And as soon as I get more information, I will be sure to share it with you. So I just wanted to wrap up with this quote from President Faust. He said, "If we can find forgiveness in our hearts for those who have caused us hurt and injury, we will rise to a higher level of self-esteem and well-being." And I think that that is so powerful when you think about forgiveness and how all of us have times in our lives where we might feel less about ourselves, where we might have lower self esteem or a negative sense of well-being, and to think of how cleansing and how powerful forgiveness can be to help us improve. And forgiveness is between you and the Savior, and the person that you're forgiving might not ever know that you have forgiven them. It is such a personal and individual process that it is really between you and the Savior and who else you include in that process of forgiveness. And again, as I've mentioned earlier, we are not alone in the process of forgiveness. I love this picture by Greg Olson where it really shows how much the Savior loves us and he is there for us. We just need to come to him. And this applies in all areas of conflict and while we're trying to negotiate and in the process of forgiveness. So I hope that this week can be one of your favorites as you are incorporating the concepts you've learned throughout the semester and also learning about the power of forgiveness. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thanks.